In this set of video notes, we're going to look at 6.3 dividing polynomials, looking at long division and synthetic division for dividing polynomials, and also using synthetic substitution to find the value without having to plug it into the whole polynomial. So in long division, you check to see how many times in our case, how many times 12 could go into 27, and it's twice in 24, and then you would subtract those two values to get 3. And then you'd find out, okay, 30, and then bring down the 7, 37. 12 times 3 is 36, and we'd subtract those values and we get a remainder of 1. The same thing happens with polynomial long division. So I'm going to look at 2x squared right here. How many times does x go into 2x squared? So we have 2x. So 2x times x is 2x squared, and 2x times 2 is 4x. And then I'm going to subtract. So subtract, subtract. I change the signs. The 2x squareds cancel out. 7 minus 4 is 3. And then I bring down my 7. And then I say, okay, how many times does x go into my 3x? I need 3 times, so 3. So 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times 2 is 6. And then I'm going to subtract, so subtract, I change the signs, and 3x minus 3x is 0, and 7 minus 6 is 1, and this is my remainder. We're going to do something very similar right here. The first thing we need to look at is that our original is in standard form. Anytime there is an exponent that is missing, we need to fill it in with a 0. So as we're looking at our polynomial right here, we have 2y cubed, so let's start off with 2y cubed, and then we have minus y squared, and then we don't have a y, so we need 0y, and then plus 25, divided by y minus 3. So I'm going to look at what times y makes 2y cubed, and that would be 2y squared. So then I distribute 2y squared times y is 2y cubed. 2y squared times negative 3, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6y squared. And then I have to subtract, so I have to change the signs. And 2y cubed minus 2y cubed cancels. 6y squared minus y is 5y squared. And then I'm going to bring down this 0y. And then again, I'm going to look at how many times does y go into 5y squared. So I need to multiply by 5y. 5y times y is 5y squared. 5y times negative 3. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. And then I have y. And again, I subtract, so I change the signs. 5y squared minus 5y squared is 0. 0 plus 15 is 15y. Bring down my 25. And then, how many times does y go into 15y? 15 times, so plus 15. So 15 times y is 15y. 15 times negative 3 is negative 45. And then again, we have to subtract, so I change the sign. So 15y times minus 15y is 0. 45 and 25 is 70. So my answer is plus 70 over y minus 3. Just like a remainder, if I had 1, I'd say 1 over 3 or whatever. It's plus 70 over what I divided by, which is y minus 3. To set up the next problem, we have 15x squared plus 8x minus 12, which is beautiful. It's in standard form. So 15x squared plus 8x minus 12 divided by 3x plus 1. So how many times does 3x go into 15x squared? 5. So 5 times 3 is 15. X times x is x squared. So we have 15x squared. And then 15x or 5x times positive 1 is positive 5x. And then we subtract, and 15x squared minus 15x squared is 0. 8x minus 5x is 3x. And then I'll bring down the minus 12. And how many times does 3x go into 3x? Once. So we have plus 1. So 1 times 3x is 3x. 1 times positive 1 is plus 1. And then we need to change the signs because we're subtracting. we get 3x minus 3x is 0. Negative 12 minus 1 is negative 13. So then my answer is 5x plus 1 minus 13 over 3x plus 1. And the last example, again, it's still in standard form, so we have x squared plus 5x minus 28. We're going to divide by x minus 3. So x into x squared is x, so x times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. And again, we're going to subtract, so we change the signs. X squared minus x squared is 0. 5x plus 3x is 8x. Bring down to negative 28. How many times does x go into 8x? It goes in 8 times. So 8 times x is 8x. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. And then again, we have to subtract, so we change the signs. 8x minus 8x is 0. Negative 28 plus 24 is negative 4. So this is minus 4 over x minus 3. So our answers would be 2y squared plus 5y plus 15 plus 70 over y minus 3 for A. And then for B, it's 5x plus 1 minus 13 over 3x plus 1. And then x plus 8 minus 4 over x minus 3. An easier way to do division, if we have just y minus 3, we can do synthetic division. So in synthetic division, it's a shorthand method of dividing a polynomial by a linear binomial. This is important. It's a linear binomial, so there's only 2 terms to it, and it's linear, so it's only x to the first. You can't divide by x squared. You can just use, it says by only using the coefficients. For synthetic division to work, the polynomial must be written in standard form using 0 as a coefficient for any missing terms, and the divisor must be in the form x minus a. So in order for it to work, it has to be 1x minus a. Notice in the steps that we have x plus 2 here, but we have negative 2 here. So when we're looking at doing synthetic division, we need the actual x value that would make that 0. So instead of plus 2, it's a negative 2 that we're going to use. My format's going to look a little bit different, but it's the same exact thing. I just have an extra line in one place. So we're going to take what it says at the top, and we're going to take the coefficients. So here we have 3x squared plus 9x minus 2 is in standard form. So I'm going to take the coefficients 3, 9, negative 2, and then we're going to divide by my x value, which in this case is the opposite of negative 1/3, which is 1/3. And we're going to start off, we're going to bring down the 3, and then we're going to multiply that by 1/3, so 3 times 1/3 is 1. And then we're going to add, so going down, we're going to add 9 and 1 is 10. And then we're going to multiply by 1/3, so that's 10/3. And then we're going to add, going down, and 10/3 minus 2 is 4/3, because negative 2 is 6/3, 10 minus 6 is 4, so we have 4/3. Then what we can do is rewrite our polynomial. So we divided by an x, so the exponents go down by 1. So where this was x squared, and this was x, and this was x to the 0, now our answer is going to be 1 smaller in the exponent. So instead of x squared, we have 3x. Plus, instead of x, we have 10. And then we have plus 4/3 over x minus 1/3. So we just reduce our exponent by 1, and then write our remainder as we did in the last one. On the next example, we have x to the fourth, x to the third, x, and minus 1. So we're missing something. We have 3x to the fourth minus x cubed plus 0x squared plus 5x minus 1. And then we can take the coefficients. So we have 3, this is negative 1, this is 0, this is 5, and this is negative 1. We're going to divide that by the x value that makes the 0, which is negative 2. So let's start off. We bring down our 3, and we multiply that by negative 2. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Bring that down. Negative 1 and negative 6 make negative 7. Multiply that by negative 2, I get 14. Add going down, I get 14. Multiply that by negative 2, I get negative 28. Add going down, I get negative 23. Multiply that by a negative 2, and I get 46. And then add those together, and I get 45. Then we can plug in our x's. So we started off here with x to the fourth. So this becomes 3x cubed minus 7x squared plus 14x minus 23 plus, because it's positive 45, 45 over what we divided by, which was x plus 2. Let's try that a couple more times. So we'll start off. We have 6x squared minus 5x minus 6. It is in standard form, so I'm going to take the 6, the negative 5, the negative 6, and divide that by what makes this 0, which is negative 3. Bring down the 6, and I have 6. Multiply that by negative 3, and I get negative 18. Add that going down, and I get negative 23. Multiply that by a negative 3. Get a positive 69. Add that together, and I have 69 minus 6 is 63. Then I can write with descending exponents. So I start off with x squared. So now this is just 6x minus 23 plus 63 over my x plus 3. In the next example, I have x squared, x, and negative 18. So I have 1, negative 3, negative 18 divided by what makes this a 0, which is 6. And I bring down the 1. Multiply that by 6, I get 6. And 6 minus 3 is 3. Multiply that by 6, I get 18. 18 and 18 make 0. So in this case, it goes in evenly. And I started off with x squared, so now this is going to be 1x plus 3. And that's it. No remainder. So that sums up dividing using long division and synthetic division. In the next video, we will talk specifically about using synthetic division to evaluate polynomials so you don't have to plug it into the actual expression.